Alright guys, hey, it's Luke Launcher. So today I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff that I've made in Dream. So I actually haven't played this since early access. And the actual game has come out recently, I think it's like 40 bucks. And it's incredible. I spent so much time playing the early access version of the game and I've made so much stuff. So I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I've made so far. Yeah, here we go. So this is a dream that I made for a Halloween contest or a competition that they did every other week. And I set up all of the scenes. I made the camera work. I made all of like I coded it essentially to do all of these things and to move. And then I made a handful of the actual things that you'll see. So I made this monster. I also made the wall of the house. Unfortunately, the subtitles didn't transfer between the early access version and the full version super well, but you would be able to do that smoothly in the new version, you know? So I made that window, I think, and I made this monster that we're about to see. But one of the best parts about this game is that people make all sorts of like incredible stuff. And like they post it so you can incorporate it into the things that you make. So that's where I got the music, a handful of the sound effects. I made this clown from scratch. It was really fun to do. And I made like the lighting so that would like switch on and off like that. I made this street. I did not make the lamps or the trees. I made this little dude with the hat that keeps popping up. I made that sound effect too, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, just the amount of stuff that you can do is literally limitless, and you can also go through all of the things that people post. It's like, Instagram, but for creations people have made. It's just incredible. Alright, so this is a dream I made for, I think it was like the fall or autumn competition. And I pretty much just put a bunch of ground down, and then I added a bunch of trees that other people have made. But this tree that I focus on, this tree with all these faces, I actually made myself, and I made it from scratch. And it took a very long time to do it. But it was really fun. I love doing it. There's like cloning techniques and all sorts of stuff that you can do to like make it a little easier. But for the most part, I sculpted each one individually because I wanted it to be like different. I also actually made the music for this. And again, I programmed like, there's controls that you can actually use to like move around the scene in a minute. This is like a cut scene, and then you get to have control over the scene. And it's like, it's just so much fun, and it gives you so much access. And it's only 40 bucks for like a program that literally allows you to create games with levels. I just chose to make more like artistic, visual kind of stuff because that's what I wanted to do. But there are like people making actual games with this program, and it's something that you pick up, you can learn it. They have tutorials and guides in there. It's all there for you to learn, and there's people online doing all sorts of stuff that they can help you. It's so cool. So I actually programmed it like you press this button to show you the controls, like I made it so that would happen. And then I made like different times of day available. Well, I made, day and night. I also made some different lighting options. So right now all we have is this like, light coming down from nowhere, but then I can turn those off. Or I can have these glowing ball thingies flying around. Or I can make it back to normal. So then I can change the time of day back so I can show you the colors. So I made different color schemes too. So I like this one because it's like, I don't know, just calming to me. But so like for example, this mushroom right here, if it'll let me go over to it. Yeah, the new controls are not totally the same, like as far as moving around goes. They definitely made some changes that are probably a lot better. The controls are the one part about this game that are difficult. It can be pretty tricky. Well, that and the coding. The controls kind of get in the way of the experience sometimes, not gonna lie. But once you get through that, or at least make it manageable, it becomes like a incredible tool. The programming aspect, like, you know, how you get things to move or whatever, how you like make things do what you want when you press a certain button, that can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing. I had to look up a lot online, because the game does a good job of giving you basic stuff, but when you want to do more complex things, it can be a little harder. So let's see what other colors we got. So this one's like a sherbety, sunsetty one. It takes a little while to load because there's so much going on in the scene. That's one thing, at least in the early access version, that I had a hard time with, is the amount of things you could fit in one little section like this. You could, you know, depending on what objects and what textures you throw in, it gets very, you can fill up the space. There's like a weight limit, essentially, to how much you can do. So I would ideally have not thrown in all of these trees and all of these different textures and modeled a million different faces and used a bunch of different objects and techniques, but I wanted to, so here we are. And actually, you'll see in a minute, I'll get to a color scheme that actually takes up so much power that it slows the music down. So this is maybe my favorite one that I made. It's just, I don't know, red on white. And then this one is the black one, but I made the grass like a lot more metallic-y, which took up a lot of energy on the game, I guess, because it slows down the music. But it's dope as shit, right? Alright, I'll be back in a second with my next thing. Alright, so this is a little level that I put together. So I didn't actually make any, for the most part, I didn't really make any of the items or like these platforms or anything. I didn't really make these myself. I just imported them. I think most of them were default things that came with Dreams. But I made all of them move, and I arranged them, and I coded everything. Like those two half discs floating right there are both individual objects that I programmed to move like that. And then I made all of this stuff happen. So when you get close to it, it shines and then makes the rest of the level appear. So we got this whole area. Oh, I forgot, we got a double jump. But I made a checkpoint right here so that when you do fall off, if you've come to this point, you just start there again. And there's a couple more checkpoints throughout the level, so that if you fall off, it's, you know, not the end of the game or whatever. And this little puppet, this little character dude came with Dreams also, but I edited, you can edit the controls a little bit, and you can edit their like physical properties or whatever, like, and their physics, literally. So I made this little like altar thing. So some of the issues I've had with this level were just scaling things up and down, because sometimes when you scale things up, like the cracks become too big and you like fall through them, like right here. I also made this water so that you could walk on it, and I made well, I didn't make the effects, but I programmed the effects to happen as each foot hits the ground. You know, that's like the amount of the level of detail you can get to. It's nuts. So I made this take you down here. And you can go back up through that portal over there. And then I made this little area. So once you step over around this area, those two rocks start to glow. So if you go up there then, and you get into this area, that will start to glow. And once you jump down here, it takes you back to the beginning and activates this portal so that you can go back and forth just by going, you know, through there. And then you can jump back down again if you want to and go back to the beginning. And then you can go back through the portal to get back to this portal. Like, this game, people are literally making games. It's so cool. You can make movies, you could do pretty much anything you want. There are not a whole lot of limitations to what you can do. Most of the limitations that I've come across are just like learning barriers, but that's about it. You have pretty much full control over every aspect of everything, and it's like $40. So you know, it really levels the playing field for people who are interested in doing this kind of work, because you can spend $40 on this instead of, you know, hundreds of dollars on some program that's super difficult to learn. So this is a character that I made entirely from scratch, actually. I think that I may have... Yeah, no, I don't think I imported any items. So I called her Mother Paradox. And she's this character. I might have imported the capes from someone else's dream. And then like changed their colors and their physics a little bit so that they would, you know, work with the way I wanted to. So you can control her a little bit. You can make her like look around by like moving the controller around, or just by controlling it. I have motion control set on for this right now. But you can make it do all sorts of fun stuff. But some of the things about this particular character that I'm proud of are like the clock right here. I made it so that it would like dangle around, and like even parts of the chain have physics a little bit. So like if you move it around a little bit, it will, like the chain will move a little bit. She's wearing this like ring. I don't know if I can actually zoom in on it in this mode without being in edit mode, but the ring that she's wearing, if you can get close in, you can see that there's actually like a ball inside it that moves around, and her cane is the same way. So there's that black ball inside there that like isn't actually attached to anything, but it sticks in that spot. And I also made like, they give you options to change the textures, of things. So you can like make metallic-y things like that, or you can make weird clothy metallic-y things like her bandana, or you could give it a more like skin kind of texture. I didn't know what I was doing a whole lot at the point of making this character, so I didn't do a great job with the skin. I definitely did not make these hands myself. I imported them from someone who could make hands, because they're hard to do, and there's like a lot of physics and linking you have to be able to do that I didn't know at the time. Yeah, I think that this is all I want to show you, but I'll check real quick. Alright, the last thing I want to show you is the song I made. It's beautiful. And so yeah, it's nuts. Like you can, like every aspect of a game that you can think of, you can make it in this game. The music making was a little difficult, especially using a controller instead of the Move controllers. But I mean, I was able to do this annoying sound, and it was, I mean, it's just so much power in a little, you know, $40 game. I'm pretty sure it's 40 bucks. I could be totally wrong, and I've only said it like 7 times or something, so you can't hold me to that. But yeah, I think you know, I just wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I did and maybe get you guys interested in it. I can try to do like a tutorial kind of thing and like go over the tips and tricks that I've learned for creating like physical sculptures and stuff. And I can try to show you guys what I've learned as far as coding goes, but I have to look up a lot of that stuff, or I had to when I was making things in this. But yeah, it's an incredible program. I definitely recommend it if you're interested in making games or even movies or anything really that you can think of. You can also go and play other people's games, so that I think is going to be a video I might do if I have time. Because there's so many hilarious and also beautiful things that you can find. It's just, I was so happy to find this game, and I'm so excited that it's kind of becoming more popular, and I hope that if anything I may have gotten you interested in the game. But yeah, I think I talked to you enough. Thank you for watching, and thanks for all the support, you guys. It's been really awesome. I am so excited about doing this YouTube thing. I know this video is a little different than what I usually do, but I am struggling to find something to play before Final Fantasy VII comes. I'm terrible at making decisions about things, so bear with me, guys. I'll see you later.